Comer, for yielding. Those of us on our side of the dais see this as a very solemn day. It appears that the purpose of this hearing is to normalize the destruction of unborn babies, which is called abortion. Let me say at the outset that I feel profound sorrow for any woman who believes that she must destroy her unborn child. And I certainly extend that to our colleagues here today. Instead of glorifying this awful act of desperation, we ought to grieve for the tens of millions of Americans who never had a chance to take their first breath, to see their mother's face, or even to cry for help. Children in the womb are people. They are our sons, daughters, future teachers, future members of Congress. They're innocent lives who do not deserve death. I refuse to normalize abortion and reject its very premise that the sacrifice of an innocent life that cannot speak for itself is justified in any way. We live in a society that mistakes choice for liberty and denies the dignity of unborn life. But the beauty of living in a free country is that we can use our liberty for love. We must put love into action every day, affirming the value of life at all stages, no matter the difficulties it presents. Striving to love daily is not easy, yet it is the greatest exercise of our freedom, and there is no life unworthy of that love. Those who are attempting to normalize the destruction of the innocent unborn do so through language that denies what they are doing. Today, we'll hear many terrible euphemisms. We've already heard them for the slaughter of children. Allow me to define some of the terms. Women's health, abortion or destruction of innocent unborn babies. And how can this be true when half of the babies aborted are female? Reproductive freedom, the ability to murder a child out of convenience. Abortion rights, robbing another of life. Pro-choice, destroying innocent life. It is important that we not allow these terms to obscure what is happening to millions of unborn babies. It is becoming a common refrain for many women to say that, quote, I wouldn't be the person I am today if I hadn't had an abortion, end quote. Well, I can tell you that Representative Kamek literally would not be the woman she is today because of abortion. She would not be with us. And those of you who promote abortion wouldn't be with us if your mothers had had an abortion. We should grieve for the millions of children whose lives were ended because they were not wanted. Whether a pregnancy is planned or unplanned, or even the result of horrific circumstances, ending that child's life with an abortion to empower or protect the, quote, freedom, end quote, of the mother is not an answer. Abortion only compounds the sorrow. How can any woman say that her life is better because of abortion? Who is anyone to say that? Has she looked into the future and seen all the possible arcs of her life? Has she seen the future of her unborn child's life and all the possibilities that life held? Has she determined that her child's life is not worth living? Abortion is not prideful. It is not a form of empowerment. Motherhood is empowerment. Only women have the ability to bring life into the world. Abortion is robbing a woman of motherhood and robbing a human being of God's most precious gift, life. Life is the most fundamental of all rights. It is sacred and God-given, but tens of millions of babies have been robbed of that right in this, the freest country in the world. This is a tragedy beyond words and a betrayal of what we as a nation stand for. Before liberty, equality, free speech, freedom of conscience, the pursuit of happiness, and justice for all, there has to be life. And yet for millions of aborted infants, many pain capable and many discriminated against because of gender or disability, life is exactly what they've been denied. And an affront to life for some is an affront to life for every one of us. One day, we hope it'll be different. We hope life will cease to be valued on a sliding scale. We hope the era of elective abortions ushered in by an unelected court will be closed and collectively deemed one of the darkest chapters of American history. But until that day, it remains a solemn duty to stand up for life. Regardless of the length of this journey, we will continue to speak for those who cannot, and we will continue to pray to the one who can change the hearts of those in desperation and those in power who equally hold the lives of the innocent in their hands. May we, in love, defend the unborn. May we, in humility, confront this national sin. And may we mourn at what abortion reveals about the conscience of our nation. I yield back.